I know I've been away. Trying not to stay, don't get my shit away. Trying not to stay, I know I've been away. Trying not to stay, don't get my shit away. Trying not to stay.
They just wanna fuck with you, 'cause they know I fuck with you. If I put my trust in you, what will you do? Will you just step back? Will you duck it out? Will you be here to the end? I just wanna know if you my friend. I just wanna know if you pretend.
Hi babies, welcome back to my channel. I am Baby Tay, and today's video I am talking about the things that you need to know before attending High Point University. So with that being said, let's just get straight into this video. Okay, so I made a whole notes list that pretty much has everything that I'm going to talk about, and this video is going to be divided into like 9 different segments. I think, I'm not sure, that number might not be exact, but yeah. So the first thing that I'm going to be talking about is education. So the classes at High Point are like really good, but one thing about them is that High Point University is a smaller university, so the classes are very small. They're very similar to high school classes. Like, you will have ranging from 7 to like 30 students in your class. Like, they're not very big, huge lecture room style classes, so the teachers like can look you dead in your face all class long. So that's one thing to be mindful for. If you want to go to a big university like that, where you're basically every class sitting in an auditorium, then High Point is not the school for you, because we only have one class that is set up like that, where you sit in the auditorium and have class, and that's President's Seminar with the president of the school, who I will talk more about later. So another thing about classes, and you know, I am a freshman about to be a sophomore, so I can't speak for every single class. I haven't taken that many classes, but from my experience here, I can say you never really need the textbook. So do not stress yourself out trying to pay $300 to $500 for textbook. And if you do feel like you're one of those people where you just want to get the textbook to have it, to say that you have it, try to find it for free, because most textbooks you can find on the online free textbook sites. Rate My Professor is going to be your best friend. I'm going to put a picture right here of that resource. You are going to need Rate My Professor. First semester, I did not use Rate My Professor, and I was miserable. And I went later and rated my professors that, you know, I already had, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, they sucked. They were horrible. We do have a lot of really good teachers, but you need to use Rate My Professor to find them. So when I was applying for my spring semester classes, I used Rate My Professor, and this semester for me is amazing. I have amazing teachers, love them, love all my classes. Everything for me this semester is going really good, and soon I'll be doing a video about my first experience, my first semester or first year experience at HPU, something like that. You have a plethora of resources on campus. As far as education, there are many like academic faculty that can help you with anything that you need. You know, you can get a tutor for just about any class that the campus offers. There will be someone that will tutor for that class. You just have to utilize them. Like if you're struggling in something or like something isn't going good, utilize your resources. So as a freshman, you get a success coach, which is basically like your school counselor, and their job is to basically make sure that you are being successful and that you have success at this university. My success coach is not great. She don't be on her stuff. She sucks. But I used to have an old success coach, but he is no longer a success coach. He is now a career and development advisor, something like that. He's amazing. So when my success coach is messing up, I go to him, which is why I say utilize your resources. You don't have to just use the resources that are specific to you. You can go and find other people that can be your go-to people for the things that you need, because he is my go-to person for the things that I need. And if you want to hear more about that, we can converse in the comments, because I don't want to just put, him or his business on the internet. But I am willing to disclose that information. But he's amazing. He helps with everything that I need. If you just so happen to get a good success coach, they can hook you up with tutors. They can help you find anything that you need, anything that you're trying to pursue academically. There are people and resources that can help you do it. The library is really, really good. 4 levels, and there's still many parts of the library I haven't even explored. We have a media and something where they have like a little computer lab. They have recording studio. They have many like things that you can check out besides books from the library. You can get microphones and cameras, and it's a whole plethora of stuff. So just know that there are so many resources for you academically, and even some of them that you can use for like personally, but you have to seek them out, know where to find them, and utilize them. One thing I did not do first semester was utilize my resources. So yeah. And then another thing is there are, just to piggyback on that, we have like in-house representatives. I forgot exactly what they're called, but we have people designated to every like major or department or like school of sorts that do different things. Like our in-house innovator is Steve Wozniak. Our in-house actor, I forgot what his name is, but he's on a show that I absolutely love. Then we also have an in-house something, which is Mark Randolph, the co-founder of Netflix. There's many different like amazing people like that, and you'll see their faces plastered all over campus. So just know that you're going to be very well connected on campus. That's pretty much wraps up the things that you need to know education wise about High Point. Okay, so now I am going to talk a little bit about the campus. So first things first, the campus is as gorgeous as the pictures online. Like a lot of campuses, when you look at their pictures online, they're really like hyped up and glorified, but High Point looks exactly like the pictures. When you come on campus, it's just as beautiful. Like the campus is like, that's one thing that I can say, it is so gorgeous. And there's like so many things about the campus that are still undiscovered to me, and I'm ending my first year here. So yeah. Dorms. So there are many different dorms. So you have on-campus dorms, you have off-campus dorms. Freshmen have to live in on-campus dorms, and there's a lot of like freshman specific, like only for freshmen dorms. Like the one I live in right now that I'm in, this is an all freshman dorm, so anybody that I see in here is going to be a freshman. But there are some like different class dorms. There are some gender specific dorms, and there's some unisex dorms. I live in a unisex dorm, but I have lived in a gender specific dorm, moved to a unisex dorm, moved to another. That is a story time that I'll have coming out for you guys soon. But let me stay on track. So Blessing is the #1 freshman dorm on campus. That is where I currently reside. It's apartment style. You have your own rooms. Like right now I'm in my room, door closed. You have your own personal space. You have a full kitchen minus an oven, but you have a stovetop. You have a living room, dining room, and the bathroom. And all of that is like really, really nice. You have WOMCOM, which is the women's complex, but we call it WOMCOM, which is an all-women's building. It is not just freshman specific. I'm pretty sure that any, actually no, WOMCOM might be all freshmen as well, but it's an all-girls dorm. Only girls can live in that dorm. One thing about WOMCOM is like if you're really not like, you know, wanting boys in your space and stuff, that's the place for you. But if you care about stuff like that, like you plan on getting a boyfriend or having boys, or do not live in WOMCOM because they are like crazy strict about that stuff. You have to walk your whatever male, even if it's your brother or any kind of male around the building. They cannot just walk freely by themselves. Like you have to accompany them. And they're it's only women's bathrooms in there, so if they have to go to the bathroom, you have to walk them to a unisex bathroom. And I have had so many irritating stories that have happened to me dealing with that bathroom, because sometimes girls would go in there and use that even though we have bathrooms specifically for us. Because when I see unisex, I just think men's bathroom because it's an all women's building, and like that's the only place they have to use the bathroom. But yeah, then you have Millis, which is an all-boys dorm. That place is pretty much purge city all the time. There's always some chaos going on there. There's really no rules. People are in, out, throughout there all the time. There's always kind of like events and stuff going on in there. The guys that usually live there always, yeah. UC2 is an amazing dorm. People say Blessing is the #1 dorm, but I really think UC2 is, because UC2 has full-size beds. You have a half kitchen, Jack and Jill, long bathroom, and it's really nice over there. It's unisex. There's, you know, a lot of functions and stuff go on over there too. So that's a really nice place if you're, you know, active. The only thing about that place is similarly to Millis, there's always like chaos going on. There was a kid that punched a hole in the wall. You know, breaking the panels in the elevators, just wild stuff. And then there's always trash issues there when I was living there, but currently there's trash issues going on here in Blessing. So yeah, nobody's perfect. Another freshman dorm is Belk. Belk, I don't really know too much about Belk, but Belk to me reminds me of like a motel. Like it doesn't look the best. I've been in there once and it was really gross. Yeah, I don't know. Belk is like 2 people to a room, and it's 4 rooms, so it's 8 people living in one suite, sharing one bathroom. They have like a bit of a living room, but there's no like kitchen anything. Like you would have to bring a mini fridge, microwave to that kind of things. But yeah, there's that. And then to piggyback on that, broken stuff. Any building has like their technical issues, like broken stuff. Like lately we've been having a lot of power outages in my building, and like the buildings that are like right by me, which is WOMCOM and Belk. There's a water leak which affects all of us. People have gotten stuck on the elevators a lot in the beginning of the year, so last semester, and there's just a lot of chaos. There's a lot of trash build up, them locking the trash chutes, because in some buildings, well, 2 of them that I lived in, which is Blessing and UC2, have trash chutes, but buildings like Millis and Belk and WOMCOM, you have to walk your trash to the trash can and throw it into like the big garbage bin. But it gets disgusting, like so many issues with that. And then just craziness, people just running through the halls, running all around, just doing crazy stuff. So there's a lot of that going on. Like people are very unhinged, especially UC2 and Millis. Another thing I want to touch on is RAs and RDs. So RAs are the resident assistants. Every, like section of buildings get an RA, and then your RD is the overall person who's like in charge of this building and who's the boss of all the RAs. When I was living in Womcom, the RAs were horrible. Like, they gave me so many problems. It was just such a big mess, especially with the COVID thing. I just hated living there. UC2, RAs are pretty good in UC2, even with all like the chaos that goes on there. They'll get on you when need be, but I hardly ever seen or heard from mine. And then another thing is, and then Millis has really good RAs. It's like I said, Purge City over there, they do not care. They might even do the stuff that you're doing with you. I don't really know about Belk. Another thing is, each dorm has dorm meetings the first Monday of like every month or something like that, that you have to attend. It's like mandatory. You can get fined for not attending. And they pretty much talk about like what's going on at school and in your building. They may say like, if trash is building up, like, hey guys, be better with that, stuff like that. There's nothing too crazy, but sometimes they go way longer than they should. And yeah, so I think that's pretty much all about campus. The rest of kind of like campus stuff is divided between the subcategories. So yeah. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to be touching on is the food. I have a lot on here to say about the food. So, it depends on who you talk to. You'll get very mixed reviews about the food. And me personally, I'm on both ends of the stick. I have a love-hate relationship with the foods. But when you come visit, especially if you do like the Innovation Summit or orientation or anything like that, they don't serve you school food. They cater food. And so you'll be at Slane, which is like our main activities building, and they'll set up banquet style, and they'll like, have servers putting food on your plate, stuff. That is not the kind of food that we have here, for the most part at least. So I'm going to do a deep dive into the food situation on campus, and if you are coming to High Point or thinking about coming to High Point, this should help you out a lot. So first things first, I'm going to talk about the meal plan. So there are many different types of meal plan, but the main meal plan that everybody uses is the 7 and 7, which is a 14 meal plan. You get 7 magic meals and 7 standard meals. So standard meals can be used at like regular places like the CAF, and then your magic meals are going to be used at your like bigger places, like the real restaurants that we have on campus. So that's going to be your Starbucks, your Chick-fil-A, your Subway, the Point, the Market, places like that. And then you also have dining dollars. So your dining dollars come with your meal plan, but you also have general dollars that you can like add on later. So like if you run out of dining dollars and there's stuff that you want to like buy on campus, like you can use your dining in general to pay for like food. You can use it to pay for snacks at like the stores that sell snacks, and you can use your general to eat food off campus, which I'm gonna get more into later. So moving on from that kind of gives you a quick little summary of how, eating works. So you have a passport card, which is your student ID, and you swipe it to get your food and stuff like that. But we have a mobile ordering app, which I'll put a picture right here, that you use to you can use that to order food for pickup, so that you don't have to order it there and wait for it. You can just go get it and it just will be ready. You can even eat it there, or you could just take it to go, which most of the times I take it to go, but sometimes I mobile order to eat it there because I'm just hungry. So yeah, I never never go anywhere and order my food there. I always mobile order it. Okay, so be careful with your general and dining. Most people really don't understand about the dining. So your dining like I said, comes with your meal plan. And I think you get like 150 or like 200. I'm pretty sure it's 150 dining dollars. Once that is gone, it's gone for that semester. Like, you only get X amount for the semester. So like, if you use like that amount in the first week of school, you will not have any dining dollars. You cannot add to your dining dollars. You can only add to your general. So that was a big like thing for me. Like, first semester, me and all my friends out of dining dollars like that. So be very careful and use them very wisely, unless you want to be stressing and constantly having to put general dollars on your passport. Do not eat at the Calf. The Calf is disgusting. The Calf is like the cafeteria style food place that we have, which most places only have a Calf and maybe like a Starbucks or something like that. But luckily we have many other places that you can eat at. Don't eat at the Calf. Sometimes the Calf can be good. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Sometimes it can be good. Like, when I came first semester, I used to like the pizza there. They have good pizza, and the Calf has really good desserts. So I'm at like now in second semester, I only go there to get desserts. But don't eat there. Don't eat there. The Chick-fil-A and Subway that we have, those are in Slane. Same place that the Calf is in. Those are really good, but the only thing is, the issue with that is, I've had Subway cancel my order before, like while I was there, because they will not make it until you arrive if you use mobile order, which kind of defeats the whole purpose of mobile order. So that was a mess. And another thing is, they sit your food out on a table, so people steal other people's food all the time. Like, all the time. I've never ate at the Chick-fil-A on campus because I don't really like Chick-fil-A all that much anymore. But yeah, I've seen many a time people steal somebody's food. And then they don't check either. Also, the wait times to get your food can be really hectic. There's another place on campus called The Market. Now, The Market kind of reminds me, I don't know, it depends on where you're from. It kind of reminds me of like a 7-Eleven or like a Wawa or a Sheetz, because they serve food there, but it's mainly like convenience store style. Like, they have a lot of snacks and stuff that you can buy. You can use your general or your dining. Now, I used to go to The Market all the time because I lived in Wamcom, and now living in Blessing, I'm right across the street from the Market, so I do frequently go there, but I'm really tired of their food now. But it's a pretty decent place. Like, they have quesadillas, cheesesteak, grilled cheese, and burgers. The burgers are pretty good to me, but I can't eat them without barbecue sauce. The quesadillas are really good, but you'll get sick of them. So, yeah. The Grill is an off-campus food place, meaning like you have to leave the gates and drive to go to it, but that will be your saving grace. I promise you. The food at the Grill is amazing. They have amazing chicken tenders. They serve shrimp, jerk chicken, pizza, burgers, build your own salads. They've got everything that you could possibly want. Pasta, everything is so good there. Like, that is my favorite place on campus. I may be a little biased, but I've pretty much had every place that there is to have on campus. Oh, we also have Jamba Juice, but I don't eat that place, but I heard it's pretty good. They have like the acai bowls and stuff like that. Silverline Diner is another off-campus place, which means you have to leave the gates and drive to it, but it's literally like right across the street. It's mainly Tex-Mex food, but it's pretty good. I've had their soft tacos. I like them, but they don't compete with Chipotle, so I don't really eat there anymore. The Great Day Bakery is amazing. They have amazing breakfast. I love getting their breakfast sandwiches, and their BLTs are good. For lunch, they have this awesome iced coffee bar where you can add the stuff into your coffee. I love going there to get breakfast and get my iced coffee. So if you're an iced coffee drinker, Great Day Bakery is going to be a spot for you. So now I'm going to talk about off-campus food spots that are like not High Point restaurants. So some places off campus that I have frequented, Shinko Grill is really, 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 really good. I can't stress this enough how good that place is. But that is like High Point didn't make that restaurant. It's its own business. It's way off campus. Well, not way off campus, like 7-10 minutes away, but that place is bomb. Caroline's Diner is an amazing place to go for breakfast. I'm pretty sure I have a video where I did a it was actually on my couples channel with my boyfriend where we went to Caroline's, or it's called Carolina's. I always call it Caroline's, but they're really, really good. And there's a lot of other places like off campus. Like I've heard Beberitos is good. Giano's of High Point is really, really good. I go there for dates all the time. Me and my boyfriend, he takes me out to dinner there. And then of course we have your typical like Chipotle, Wendy's, McDonald's, Burger King, KFC, Popeyes, all that kind of stuff off of campus. But one important thing that you should know is that some places may not have been High Point created, but they're High Point affiliated. So if you see a restaurant with purple umbrellas and it says like, "We love High Point University," you can use your passport, which is your student ID, to get food there. But it has to be general dollars. So you can have your parents put, or you can put money onto your passport under general dollars, so that way if you go there you don't have to pull out your credit card or debit card or cash to pay for your food. You can just swipe your student ID and you can get food at those places also through High Point. Like I know Shinko, if you use your general dollars you can get food there, but I always end up just paying on my debit card. So that's a big thing that you should know. And that pretty much... Oh, another place I forgot to talk about was the Butterfly Cafe. Butterfly Cafe gives me kind of like Mediterranean food vibes. I don't really like that place. I don't really like the kind of food that they serve. But they have like an extensive like bakery, like desserts and stuff that look really, really good. I haven't tried them, so looks can be deceiving, but if you like kind of foods like that, like my friend likes to eat there. She kind of gets like this salad thing with salmon, and yeah, so just know that you have many, many food options on campus and utilize them. Find the places that you like, and yeah. Okay, so moving on, the next thing we'll talk about is the people. So not many people it's not many people on campus. Like I said earlier, it's a small university, so pretty much everybody knows each other, or you know someone who knows someone. Like you might see someone that you like really don't know, but you know somebody who knows them. Like there's been many a time where like I befriended people or moved into somewhere and told like my horror stories to some of the people I met, and they're like, "Oh my god, I know that person." I'm like, "You know them?" Yeah, so it's a small campus. It's really not that many students. I think with our incoming freshman class, it's going to be a lot more students than ever. Like the school is really growing, but it's still a small university, so it's not that many people. Most people are really, really kind. Like when I came to visit as an incoming freshman, before I started actually attending the school, I was just coming to like view the school and stuff. People went out of their way to help me. They were super, super kind to me, giving me directions, explaining stuff, answering my questions about the school and stuff like that. So most people are really, really nice, but, and that's a big but, and not the buttocks kind, but this is a predominantly white institution, which means it's mainly white students, and a lot of them are really entitled, bougie, very much rich kid personas. Like they can be very like prissy and rude, and you can catch attitudes from some of these people. Like, some of these people just, I don't know, like, what's going on with them, but they can just be so rude and bitchy, basically. Like, try to keep it PG-13, but bitchy is a simple way to put it. Another thing is this school is not very black friendly or any minority friendly. Like, if you're not white, you are going to have some difficulty here. You know, not everybody who attends here is, you know, well versed in different races. They haven't seen too many minorities growing up, and, you know, they can be really mean and really rude. Like, we've had a lot of minority student directed incidents happen, such as talking about lynchings, the use of derogatory terms such as the N-word and stuff like that. But even with that, I still like going to High Point University, because you just have to know how to navigate stuff like that. Like, really try to make friends, like, and settle into a trusted, good group of friends. Like, I have a really good group of friends on campus, and they really helped me get through it. And luckily for me, it wasn't really that hard for me to find them. But I know some people who really struggled settling into their group or finding their friends, or just that one friend that just makes it all just easier for you. So yeah. Also, excuse the background noise, because obviously I don't live by myself, so there are other people here and you're gonna hear other stuff going on. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all I got as far as people. Like, just be careful. Like, every school has like their thing, like with people. It's really weird. And then with it being a small university, it's, you know, like the campus culture is really different. But yeah. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to talk about is events and activities. So one thing about High Point is they don't have them an event. There are constantly, and I mean constantly, events and activities going on all the time. Whether it's just like school-wide, or it's club specific, or dorm specific, or fraternity sorority specific, there's always something going on. Like, whether it's school hosted or student hosted, there's something always happening. There's always something to do. Like, you can never be at High Point University and say, like, there's nothing to do. Like, there is something to do. So, first things first, this kind of falls into campus, but I felt that it would fit better in the events and activities category. But campus has 2 basketball courts, well, really 3 basketball courts, but one isn't really like student accessible. So we have an outdoor court and an indoor court at Slane that you can play basketball at. We have a volleyball court, and then there's 6 pools on campus that students have access to, but Slane is like the main one. And then there's a plethora of gyms. So UC2 has a gym, Slane has a gym, and then there's other buildings that have gyms, but they're not necessarily freshman accessible. But I know Caffey has a gym, and then, but yeah, so there's just many pools and many gyms and like sports activities that you can play, volleyball, basketball, different stuff like that. There is a skating rink in the winter months, and I think it comes like around November, and it stays all the way, like they just recently got rid of it. It stays all the way to February. So you have that for like 4 months. You just like sign up for a time slot and you can go ice skate. And that's really nice. We have a movie theater and an arcade. So those are both in the Wanek Center. in the basement, so you can go to the movie theaters and watch movies, or you and your friends can just go and like put something on the movie screen. I've heard of people doing that. The arcade has many old school games and stuff like that, but not only that, they have gaming consoles that you can go and like play on. I actually went with my family and my boyfriend to the arcade and had lots of fun beating them in air hockey. So the campus offers stuff like that, and all of that stuff is free. Like once you pay your tuition, all of those activities and doing things like that are free. So I'm going to talk about the campus hosted events. So we have, in the beginning of the year, Derby Day, which is the first weekend after the first week of class. And Derby Day is kind of separated into two, because you have the student hosted one and you have the school hosted one. The school hosted one, they have moon bounces and street corn and water like activities and slides and stuff like that. And the student one is very much so just standing in a field, and people just day drink and party. Like it's just a big field party pretty much, kind of like a rave almost, but like without the raving. I don't know, but they have that. I attended the student thrown one in the field, but I was very misinformed, like uninformed, or I would say unknowledgeable. Like I didn't have like know what to expect or what really was going on. It was like somewhat explained to me, but not really, and then I was like underprepared. So yeah, there's Derby Day, and then there's always constantly events going on in like the dorms. So I remember when I lived in WOMCOM, which is the women's complex, they would have like karaoke nights and girl talks, and around Christmas time they did ornament painting, where you could go and paint an ornament and like custom design it or whatever. Just different stuff like that. Coming up, we have a Paint-A-Palooza. So I'll put the flyer for that right here. And then also coming up, we have like a fair or something. I'll put the flyer right here. And so like stuff like that, like the flyers and stuff are posted around the dorm buildings, so you constantly know what's going on. But you can also connect yourself to the different High Point University pages and know events that's going on. So I'll put that right here. It's the High Point U Instagram that I follow to kind of stay connected and know what's going on campus for when I want to do stuff. So now let's talk about the parties. There are parties going on all the time. So sometimes, depending on like sorry, those are my roommates. Depending on like where you live or whatever, some people have like dorm parties where they'll just have, you know, people come to their dorm and just, you know, party and chill and stuff like that. And some people have houses on campus. I forgot to talk more about that in campus, talking about the dorms, but we do have on-campus houses. There's townhouses, there's apartments, there's single family like home type houses, and I've been to many parties at those, and those are really, really fun, because most times they'll have like a DJ, like a full DJ set, have somebody DJing instead of just somebody on the aux on a speaker. And those are lots of fun. I met a lot of different people and made a lot of friends through those. So I would say, like, if you're a partier or not a partier, try to attend at least one of those. And yeah, and then of course the sororities and fraternities host their own parties and events and stuff like that. But I've never went to one of those, so I can't really speak too much in depth about those. But I know that those happen. I have many friends that do attend those and have a great time there. So I wouldn't say the High Point's a party school, but it is very much so a party school, because even if it's not like a full-blown party, there are many kickbacks where people just chill with their friends, and there's always stuff going on. Yeah. So like I said, that's one thing about High Point. You can never say you don't have anything to do, because there's always something to do. There's many things to do on campus. There's outdoor fire pits. There's about two of those that I know of, the Slane one and the one that's across the street from me outside WOMCOM. You can go sit at the fire pit with your friends. There's many hammocks and like outdoor seating. You can go chill at those. I did that a lot in the summer, first semester. They have like really cool swinging chairs, and you just chill and land those. And there's basketball games, soccer games, baseball games, all that kind of stuff. Basketball games are super duper fun to go to. Free, once again, because like I said, once you pay your tuition, everything is free on campus for you to do. Those are really fun. You just get a ticket voucher and you can go. I've gone many times with my friends, but there's always something to do. So just be connected, talk to people, figure out the stuff that's going on, and get involved. That makes your HPU experience better. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to talk about is financials. I know this is really important to a lot of people and not very talked about, and it, can get really confusing, because I know attending High Point University, I was really confused and kind of in the dark, and I had already committed before really knowing all these things. So for High Point, when you are interested and you get accepted and stuff, in order to like start your process or whatever, you have to make a $500 deposit to basically be a student, and then you have to pay off like the rest of the money later. It is $60,000, sometimes 60 plus, to attend this school. It's $30,000 a semester, sometimes more. Like I said, it really just depends on the meal plan you pick, the housing that you pick, and even then, once that stuff is all paid off, you still get, like I said, fined a lot. So it's a lot of money. Like, you really have to be financially ready and supported for the things like that. But I can say that with how much it costs, you do get a lot. Like, you get a really good education. Like I said, there's constant activities going on that are for free, and the food is really, really good. It's really worth your money. And yeah, so it's like 50-50 with that. Like, yes, it's super duper expensive, but you do get a lot out of that. And Nito does talk a lot, which is the president of our school. Nito Quabain talks a lot about the return of investment, which is really true. You really do get a return of investment on the money that you do put onto your High Point University education, because a lot of our students, I don't know the exact percentage, but I know it's like really, really high. It's like 70 to 80% either go straight into graduate school, or they go to right into their career field or internships. Like, you get a guaranteed internship attending High Point University. And I can speak firsthand because I've already kind of started interning, and I'm only a freshman year. It's supposed to start doing that sophomore, junior year. So yeah, they, like I said, it's really, 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 really well connected, and they will make things happen for you. So if you're serious about your future, they can really help you, get straight to it. I constantly get account charge emails. So like I said, to piggyback off of that, like, even once you have paid all your tuition, you still get like random charges for stuff all the time. And I'm not the brightest bulb in the box, so I don't always really look into them. I just kind of leave them to my parents to figure out and pay for. But that is a little suspicious and should be more talked about, because I know other students have this happen as well, because I've talked to many people that have the same thing that happened to them. The last part of financials that I'm going to touch upon is scholarships. High Point University offers a plethora of scholarships that are student specific and major specific. Like, there's a minority scholarship that I just so happen to not have gotten. It's money for that. But anyways, I'm just kidding, guys. I mean, they do, but I was just joking about the other stuff. There's like a business fellows and different things like that. I can't remember the other names of them. I can only really remember business fellows because I am in the School of Business. That's part of my major. But they have scholarships specific to your major that can give you quite a bit of money to help you get through High Point. As well as that, there's many like other scholarships that are not major specific, but like I'm on a community service scholarship. There's like really a lot of scholarship offers. options that they will offer you. That's what I meant to say. Sorry, I'm getting a little tongue-tied because I'm talking about so much. I'm giving you guys so much information, but I want you guys to be aware of all these things before considering or attending High Point University. So yeah, there's many scholarships, and then outside of High Point, of course, you can find other scholarships through your area, your state, your major, just online. There's all of that. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to talk about is security. So, this topic is like... So, one thing that High Point University does heavily promote is security, how secure it is. High Point University is a private university, so we live basically, like, the whole campus is gated. Even our off-campus, like, things that we have are also gated communities. The security is pretty good. Like, in order to get on campus, you have to show your, like, passport, or if you're a guest and you're not a High Point student, you have to be registered and have your ID and, like, all of that stuff. When you pull on campus, they will check, like, your car to make sure nobody else is in the car after checking for your passports, and you have to have stickers and, like, stuff on your car that the school gives you to let them know that you do that you do attend the school. So on that front, the security is pretty good. But currently now, we also have a lot of undercover police on campus that is not as talked about as it should be. And we have like regular police, like High Point City police cars that the president of the school has now hired to patrol the campus. So with that being said, campus is really secure, but sometimes in a sense too secure. In the first semester, when everybody first got on campus, a lot of people were getting busted for fake IDs and alcohol and any kind of like illegal activities, because a lot of people are still underage for things of that sort. So it is getting really dangerous on campus to be a kid. So yeah, they're really crazy about stuff like that. And then another thing is they will fine you for just about anything. Parking on campus is horrible. A lot of parking spots are specifically assigned to students, but not many people like get that. You only get that if you're early decision, and not many people are early decision. So you know, people park in these like assigned, unassigned parking spots, and you will get tickets, and they will add up, because I have gotten so many tickets for things. You get fined for silly things. You can get fined for noise complaints. You can get fined for masks with COVID going on. They will fine you for that. Right now, the mask mandate is down in Guilford County, which is the county that High Point University is in. So we don't have to wear masks, but when we did have to wear masks and the mask mandate was still up, you would get fined. It was crazy. It was too much. It was so overbearing, and it was just like so stressful, because I am definitely pro mask, but just being like fined, having to pay money over it is just kind of crazy to me. Now the other half of security that is not really talked about is like, yes, they promote security, and the security is really good, but like most security, they do have slip-ups. Like recently we had an incident where a man somehow managed to find his way on a campus, and he tried to R-word a girl, and there was attempted theft. It was just a whole mess of a situation. And you know, this campus, like, it's really good security, but it's really not that hard to find your way onto the campus, especially if you're affiliated with a student. Like, they can get you on campus. Like, it's not as secure as they would like you to think that it is, but at the same time, it is pretty secure, and sometimes too secure. So it's a really 50-50 on that. Another thing about security is that, like, when you're living in a dorm, some campuses, like, you can just walk into a dorm building. You can't do that at High Point. Like, if you don't live in that building, even if you're a student, you can't just get into the building. Whoever lives in that building that you're like trying to go to either has to let you in, or you just can't get in, because your ID card works kind of like a key fob. So not only can you use it to swipe for food and like get food and identify yourself, but it also gets you into your dorm. So they have these little like beeper things, and you put your passport card up to it, and it beeps and it lets you in. But it will only let you into class buildings and your dorm that you live in. So there's many times where I want to go to UC2, to where I used to live, to go see my friends that are there, and they have to like come downstairs and get me. So sometimes that can be annoying, which is why I say like too secure, and then like the undercover cops and all that kind of mess. So it really is a 50-50 of like, how good is the security? Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the higher up staff, which would be like the president and things of that nature. So they glorify this school, especially our president, Nito Quabain. He speaks so highly of the school, but they're like, this school has its downfalls. Like other, like, yes, High Point is a really good school, but there's still many unaddressed issues that need to be talked about. Like the issue with minorities here, we're very overlooked, and there's like been many incidents, like I mentioned previously, with things of that nature. And he just pretty much just be like, this is the greatest place in the world, like Disney World, when it's really not like that. One thing I can say about Nito is he is a really sweet dude. He with it being a little university, you will constantly see him. Like, unlike other schools that like you go 4 years attending the university and only see the president the day that you graduate, you will see him all the time. I've ran into him so many times, just seen him eating lunch or just walking around campus with people, him driving his Mercedes around campus. I've almost been run over by his driver, because he drives his own personal Mercedes, but he also rides around in like an SUV truck and has a driver, and I've almost been run over by said truck. But you will constantly see that man. So if you really do have something on your chest that you want to express, he's not that hard to get a hold of. Like, you will bump into him frequently. But the main thing that is an issue with the overall staff is they cover up a lot of things. Like, a lot of things go overlooked. And like when we recently had the incident where this random guy just somehow found his way onto campus, which I talked about in the security segment. No, it was not talked about like at all. Like, they sent like maybe one email, and it was really the students that had to spread this information by word of mouth, because they didn't mention it until he was later found and escorted off campus or something like that. Which is pretty dangerous, because the issue was still ongoing and other people could have ran into him and not had any idea of the situation. So I just really don't like that they cover a lot of stuff up. They do not let incidents get out. Like, years ago, there was a school shooting here, but you would really not see too much information about it. But a person like me, I do extensive research on things, and I stumbled upon it. So be mindful of that like, they cover up a lot of stuff. Yeah, they don't play that tarnishing the reputation. But thankfully, we have students that will talk about their experience, will bring light or shed light on these situations, so that people are mindful and that they know. Because all school has their issues, but when you have a school like High Point that just covers up on their issues, you got people coming in blind. So, just be prepared for that. Like, talk to people to like see, what's really going on. And people will gladly tell you. The students will gladly tell you. Even some staff will gladly tell you. But for the most part, they really cover stuff up. Okay, last but not least, whew, y'all been really hanging in with me. If you guys made it to this part of the video, thank you so much, and hopefully thus far I've given you really good information. But to end off this video, we're going to talk about the area being the city of High Point, not the university, but the city. So like I said, the campus is gorgeous. It looks just like the pictures, but once you leave these gates, it is run down, it is ghetto, it is horrible. The area outside of the campus is really bad. Like, it's really bad. In certain areas, there's a lot of like gangs, gang violence, shootings. Like, it is not the best area. So we do have this bougie little campus, our own little slice of heaven in this really bad city. Not to down or bash the city of High Point, but it is really run down. Like, the buildings are really messed up and really bad, and I don't know how the legislation is going in the community, but they need to put more funding towards rebuilding and rebranding their city, because I do know High Point at one point was probably very beautiful, but right now it's really abandoned, really run down, really ghetto, and some parts can be dangerous that you go to. Another thing, there's not really many places, like if you want to go activities and go out with your friends, there's not many places to go to outside of campus, which is why I said you really better get comfortable with the events and activities that High Point hosts. Because if you want to go to the movies or go shopping or anything like that, you have to go all the way to Greensboro, or sometimes even as far as going all the way to Charlotte, North Carolina, which is an hour and some change away. So just be mindful of these things. Now what I can say is, like, off campus, we do have like Walmart and Target that are in good proximity to get to, so grocery shopping is really not an issue. There's many gas stations that you have access to, and there's also a lot of car dealerships. So if anything like car related, grocery related, gas related, you can handle all of those things. A lot of banks, but none of the banks that I have. Like, that's the crazy part about it, is there's so many banks, but none of the banks that I have, and things of that sort. But like, it's still not that great of an area outside of campus. So though campus looks absolutely gorgeous, it sets the impression that outside of the campus is just as gorgeous and as nice as campus is, but that is false. I hate to burst your HPU bubble, but out of the gates of campus is not as nice as inside the gates. So that is something to be mindful of when considering or attending High Point University. Okay guys, I gave a plethora of information about things that you need to know before considering or attending High Point University, touching on the subjects of education, the campus, the food, the people, the events, the security, the high-powered staff, the financials, and the area being High Point City of the campus. And hopefully all of this information has been very beneficial to you guys and that it helps you guys out a lot. That's pretty much all I have, but I also want you guys to be mindful with the information that I gave you. I am only a freshman. There are 4 weeks left in school, and then it'll be summer, and then I will be a sophomore. So this is all the things that I've learned and picked up just being a freshman, but there is much more information out there, and this is just information from my perspective. Other people may see it differently. Some people may agree with me. I'm thinking most people will. But that about wraps up this video. Thank you guys for watching. If you made it this far in this video, just so much love. Like, comment, subscribe, share, and turn your post notifications on to be notified every single time that I upload if you want to see more of mwah. If you guys have any questions or comments or anything like that, just comment them below and I will respond to everybody, because if there's something that I talked about in the video that you want me to explain or go into further detail about, I will do that for you guys. But I'm going to need you to hit that thumbs up button. I need those likes. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.